Hello, sunshines. Welcome to BunniPhish Crafts. I'm your host, Heather, known as BunniPhish on Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, TikTok, and my other places. I don't remember. How are you? It's been a bit. I will, at some point, put up a compilation video of things that happened over the summer. The big thing, two big things, I guess, is that my mom passed away at the beginning of August. So, that threw me for a loop. And I also, dated somebody who ghosted me. Yeah, and that took place August and September. And that was a really big bummer because I liked him a whole lot. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't. This is totally off track, and this is not where I'm going with this. But, what is ghosting? Why do people do that? I don't understand. Because I am a human who needs closure. So, I don't understand the concept of you just completely stop answering someone's phone calls or texts. You can't even be I don't want to talk to you. I don't know. Anyway, so those things threw me off. Plus the start of school, and now we're here. So I kind of just want to do a wrap-up video. Did I say it's October 2nd? I'm gonna try the end of the month / very beginning of the next month to do kind of a wrap-up of what's been going on. So let's do some knitting and reading content. And crochet. Knitting, crochet, reading content. I've got some. The first thing, I'm going to show you something I finished. I'm pretty proud of it. This has been a whip for, I think it's going on 3 years. Is that right? Is it going on 2 years? I don't remember. It is a cowl. Maybe it's only going on 2 years. It's a cowl that I knit using fingering weight singles. And it's not very complicated. It's I can't think of what it's called. It's striping every other round, though. And that's not difficult, but for a while it was not something I could do in the dark. It took up too much brain power to be able to do it in the dark. However, I mastered that because it just meets at a there's a stitch marker. So I was drop the yarn, pick up the other yarn, make sure they're not crossing. So it became something I could do in the dark, so I did. So here's the cowl. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it. I think it was 200, somewhere between 250 and 300 stitches around. Maybe. I may be making that up. Somewhere between 200 and 300 for sure. I wanted it to be long enough to be able to be wrapped twice and not feel like you're suffocating. It's gonna be a gift for one of my work friends, but it's so cute. And different color combinations can be shown, and it's so cute. Not for me. It's not so cute for me, but it's so cute for her. I think she's gonna love it. So I didn't use a pattern. I just cast on provisionally and knit around and around and around and used up a bunch of scraps. So many scraps used up in this. I could count them, but I'm not going to. But you can kind of see wherever the color changes. I think you can see it really well on the bright colors. I striped a neutral with a non-neutral, so I don't think it's as clear. Well, I guess this is kind of clear, between the neutrals and not, but I feel in the non-neutrals, it's really clear where the breaks are. And look at this. I made a mistake right here. I did 2 rounds of white instead of switching the yarn. I was in the dark or something. I was definitely not looking at it at that point. But this cowl has been knit on at lots of places. It was knit on at school PD, and most recently I took it to the movies once. I went and saw Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring 2 weekends ago, and worked on this there. And then I went to a candlelight concert this past month, and it was so lovely. Have you been to one of these things? If you have not, and you enjoy music, especially live music, it was just a lovely experience. There were electric candles set up everywhere, so it was like kind of dark. I went to a Legend of Zelda, or the Music of Zelda concert, so they played a bunch of songs from the video games. I bought the tickets for my sister for her birthday because her birthday was last week, and she loves Zelda, so it was really, really fun, and it was lovely, and I snuck my knitting in, and I worked on this there. So yeah, I'm thrilled that it's done because it was dead boring, but I think it's gorgeous, and I think I would make another one of these. Not exactly this. I probably wouldn't do like the helical striping effect where it's change every round, but I made a cowl like this where I did like 10 rounds of a color and then 5 rounds of a neutral, and that was enjoyable because I wasn't switching every round. So I would also consider just knitting until a scrap ran out, which would give me big chunks of color, obviously, like this green right here. I mean, it would be cut in half, but it would still be a pretty big chunk of color, but I think that could still be lovely. So yeah, I would make something like this again, but I'm so glad this is done and I don't have to work on it anymore. It feels really good to get a long-standing whip off the needles. There are others, but it feels good to have this one done. And then when I finished that one, I had these bigger, like, leftover bits of single ply yarn, and I was like, well, I'll start another cowl thing. I wish I would have made this a little taller, but it's not a terrible size. It's just a little short. So I think I'm just gonna knit this until it runs out. And oh, excuse me, sorry, I had some Dr. Pepper before I started recording. I think I'm just gonna knit this until it runs out, see how that does for me. We'll see, because I don't have that many singles left, like scrap wise. I have this, which I'm using for this. I'm not using a pattern. I cast on, I'm gonna do numbers right now, so if you're counting, pause the video. I'll give you a couple seconds. Okay, I think I have 15 in the middle, and then 6 on either side, so 15 plus 12, 27 maybe? Did I cast on 27? That might be right. I could be making up that number. But anyway, I'm doing I-cord on either side, where on the right sides I'm just knitting everything, and then on the wrong sides I'm slipping the first and last 3 stitches of the row, and then I'm doing 5 garter ridges, and then I'm doing 6 rows of stockinette with garter on either end. So just something so it's a little bit interesting. It's not quite vanilla, but it gives my brain something to do, but not too much to do. Because mindless is nice, it's fine, but it's not what I want all the time, right? So I'm working on that. But then I was going to the second Lord of the Rings movie at the theater because they're doing one of the cinemas around us does like a throwback movie every single week. I did not know this. And it's not a theater I go to normally, but I went to one with my best friend to see the Barbie movie. And I was like, what? They do throwbacks and they're doing Lord of the Rings? Well, I have to go to that with a different friend. So that's what I've been doing. But I needed movie knitting for that because they're showing the extended versions, which is 4 hours. So on Saturday, I cast on and I did garter ridges around the end. And then I took all of these minis. I put them in order on like a long stitch holder thing. You know, they look like giant safety pins. I put them in an order that I found to be pretty pleasing, and I held 2 strands together, so you can see. So here was white held with rainbow, and then the rainbow ran out just at the perfect time to do this lime green with kind of blue browns, and then I ran out of the lime green. And there was 45 minutes of the movie left, and I didn't have any more yarn with me to do it. So I got home and I pulled out this kind of mossy green color, and I am going to finish out the cowl with that. So what I have left for singles yarn is this ball is currently attached, and then I have these, and this is it. This is all of the single ply yarn that I have in my possession. Most of it is leftovers from other people. This brown I used to make a hat, but like everything else came from other people. So that's it. How exciting is that? Did you watch my, I'll just drop that on the ground, it's fine. Did you watch my video about my 100-day project where I was using up minis and doing scrappy things? I feel very inspired by that 100-day project. I'm super proud of my progress on that. So yeah, I'm feeling really, really inspired. But I feel like this cowl is almost long enough. Let's see. Yeah, I think I just want to do maybe do I think it's long enough now? I feel like maybe like 2 more rounds of stockinette. I feel like it's just too short, just barely. So 2 more rounds of stockinette and then 5 garter bands, and then this will be done. So I don't think I'll show it to you next time. I might finish it before I edit because I have class tonight. So I'll probably work on this. Making a mess. So I'll probably work on this tonight and maybe finish it. And if I do, I'll put in a picture right here so you can see it finished. So the other thing I have to show you is a crochet project. So in October, it's my littlest's birthday, and she wants to go to a hotel for her birthday. It's the 2nd year in a row that's what she wants to do. Ooh, chapstick! I haven't been able to find my chapsticks all day. My chapsticks that are supposed to live on my work cart weren't there. Oh, sorry, okay. Anybody else have I own at least 30 chapsticks, but every once in a while they're all missing because they get put in a pocket and they all get taken home, and then I'm sure they're all sitting next to my bed and I just need to redistribute them to all the places where they need to live. Anyway, so we're going to a hotel and that's awesome, but my best friend and I, she's coming to the hotel. That weekend we're going to a show, and it's for like a fairly small band. Like, I don't know, they're not like a major touring band. I think they're fabulous. Archers USA, look them up on TikTok and Instagram, and they're amazing. But we went to a show of theirs in May, and they had a small collection of crocheted and knitted toys, and I was like, what are those? And the front man was like, oh, some fans just, started bringing them. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Well, I'm a fan. I can make crocheted and knitted toys. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite, but I can. So I started. Does this look, if you've been here forever, does this look like a start of something you might know? Lally Lala does a series of, that's rude. I'm not stopping though. Sorry. That AC is super loud. Lally Lala does a series of crocheted dolls that look like they're wearing animal pajamas. Like they're dressed up in animal onesies. So I'm making a panda. She might have a pattern for it. I didn't look. I have 3 or 4 of her patterns. I definitely have a dragon, a kangaroo, and a raccoon. So I'm using the raccoon pattern. But I'm making it panda. So I have an arm in progress. And I have the feet finished. So I just need to make the other arm and an ear and the body and a tail. I don't think I wrote tail down on my to-do list. I have to add that. Yeah, and get it done. I have to get it done. Like, I don't want to make this for just to have sit around because I didn't finish it on time. So I need to be working on this. I'm using Barocco Vintage Baby in color 10072, 10032, and 10001. So I'm working on that. I am altering the pattern. I'm using heavier yarn than is called for, and I don't want it to be huge. And I'm using bigger yarn. I think the dolls are like 12 inches if you make them with fingering weight yarn. I don't want it to be that big. So I'm taking out a bunch of rounds in the arms for arm length, and then I'm going to take out a bunch in the body to make it shorter. I did take out some rounds in the head too to make that smaller. So hopefully it'll work. Hopefully it'll be as cute as I think it's going to be. But I'm working on that. Yeah, that's what I've been working on. So reading, oh my gosh. I love this book. I love this book. Okay, so this is Castiel's Servant by Jacqueline Carey. And she wrote like my favorite trilogy ever. I made all of my friends read it in high school. I made all of my friends read it in college. Like, I have a tattoo on my back based on like a concept from the book. So, oh, that's sad. One of my students just texted that she's not gonna be here. She usually texts me earlier if she's not gonna be here. Okay. Anyway, so I love this book so much. I love this book. It is something that I love anyway. It is a retelling of the first book of the first trilogy from the male main character's point of view. The first trilogy are told from a woman's point of view, and I love her, but seeing like all of the things from a different perspective, like, I know I'm being ridiculous about this book, but it's so good and I love it so much, and I just can't, like, I don't necessarily want all of the books to be rewritten from his point of view, but I'm so glad that this one is. And then this book, Fairy Tale by Stephen King, I've been reading it for kind of a while now, but it's very good. It's kind of graphic and gory, as Stephen King is. It's not very like scary, but it's good, and I've been enjoying it. It's about he's a kid. He's like 17, 16. He's a kid who goes to like this fairy tale land, but you don't even see that for the first third of the book, half of the book. I don't remember. It was a long time building up to him going to this fairy tale land, but it's really good. Definitely recommend. It's not like scary like some of Stephen King's other things. It is gory though, so if you can't do gory, this might not be the one for you. But yeah, this is almost a finished book though. I am 20 or 30 pages away. I might not finish it tonight, but I'm definitely finishing it this week. So I won't be talking about this next time I talk to you either. But I did think it was worth a mention. I'm enjoying it. All right, friends. I'm sure that, well, I know that I took footage during September. So Heather of September, we'll see you after this with maybe some talking, definitely some pictures and some other clips. And I hope to see you at the end of October, beginning of November, somewhere in there. I'm trying to get my ducks in a line, trying to make this thing work. I don't know. I'll fall into a rhythm eventually, maybe. Thank you for coming back and seeing me. I appreciate you all so much. And also look for my crafty goals video. That will be coming to you sometime this week, for sure. I'll get it to you. All right? Bye for now, friends.